Let's get into the SOL narrative and why I believe all that ish is now quieting down slowly. One win doesn't take it away, but it's the start that I think will. And I'll tell you what, when I was watching the game, and I know many people could relate to me on this, especially when it became halftime and the Lions were down 7, it was 14-7 at halftime. The Chiefs get the ball coming out of half. I'm sitting there, Maz is with me, Ryan from the back is with me, and we're just talking. I'm like, man, what if the Chiefs get the ball here? They're going to, and they go down and score. Now you're down 21-7. Things are looking scary. You're on the road. You got to play from behind, right? A lot of concern there. You know what they do? You know what the Lions do after giving up a touchdown right before half, after half? They come out of halftime, and they get a stop.
Speak it!
They get a stop. They needed to get a stop. They got it. Now, the offense comes out. They punt. So now you're thinking, okay, here we go. It's one of those games. It's back and forth. Now it's 7-14 still. You're down one score. What happens? Brian Branch answers the phone.
Man, that's a bad man, Brian Branch.
He answered the phone call and said, "What'd it do? I'm here. I'm taking this thing to the crib. Score 7." That's when I knew. I said, okay, here we go. Now the momentum shift in that ball game. Now, it could have been 21-7. The Lions defense gets a stop. Brian Branch, pick 6, ties the game up. The entire game now is different. Now it's a tied game. Now you can still run the football. You don't have to play from behind. You don't have to rush anything. And they were getting away from the run, which was pissing Lucas off, was pissing me off too. They got back to the run. Now, what changes that is after the pick 6, the Chiefs get back on the field. What happens? They punt again.
Yes,
the
sir.
defense answered the phone. They didn't give up a touchdown in the second half.
Nope.
Not a touchdown. 2 field goals. You ended up winning by 1 point. That was the difference. And then you take it down to the last drive for the Kansas City Chiefs late in the game. Now, I'll say this. When Mahomes had the ball, I was scared. Everybody should be scared. You know this man can go down the field and get a field goal like that or score, even do that. But regardless, I'm watching the game, and I'm thinking to myself, the Lions, they got to get a stop here. Again, you need a stop. What happens? They get a stop. Like that. This is why, to me, it's different. Is this team, when they needed something, when they needed the defense to show up, when they needed the offense to show up, they did it. They did just enough to win. And the most impressive thing in the NFL is winning. It's hard enough to win in the NFL.
Yep.
Winning when you're not playing your best. That right there. In Arrowhead. On
Against
the road.
Andy Reid.
Against Andy Reid.
The Super Bowl champs.
The Super Bowl champs.
They get in the ring ceremony.
Yep.
Everything was against the Lions there.
Now,
and they shook that SOL narrative in so many ways last night.
Yeah, they did. And I'm not saying to everybody, SOL is completely over, they're winning the Super Bowl. But that's different. I'm just pointing things out to me that were different. The Lions get the stop they needed. The defense responds. Like, everything was just happening differently. It's something we saw in flashes last year. But this team, if they're able to put it together, they played in Arrowhead and beat Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. I don't give a damn who wasn't playing. That's one of the toughest, if not the toughest win in the NFL.
Oh, it is the toughest win in the NFL right now, and it speaks to how opportunistic and how situationally well the Lions have played when they make the big plays when it matters. Even if they give up a few, they don't let it compound. I look at the 2 field goals that the Chiefs got instead of touchdowns. There were some moments, especially that pass interference call, that could have been backbreaking, but the Lions held firm. They bended but didn't break. And speaking of the game last night, where did Brian Branch and Jahmyr Gibbs go to college?
Bama, baby.
Alabama. And do you love college football? It's the Woodward Sports for the Love of College Football pregame show. Spencer Raxter, Flannel Sam Easy, and many more will get you pumped up. Every Saturday morning from 8:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. on the Woodward Sports YouTube channel. Whether you're a Sparty, Wolverine, or a fan of that other team in Ohio, we welcome you to love your Saturday with Woodward Sports. And one thing that I want to touch on, too, is when things didn't go the Lions' way, they overcame and they found a way. Think about this. I got a few scenarios I want to run by you guys. What if you were told before the game that the Lions would only score 7 first-half points? Would you have thought they would have won?
I would have been concerned.
We would have all been concerned, but that is what happened, and they found a way. They overcame. What about Marvin Jones fumbling that ball inside the Kansas City red zone with a chance to take a lead, either 10-7 or 14-7? Like Marvin Jones lost that fumble, a red zone fumble, which you typically can't do against a good team. If you thought that Marvin Jones would have done that, with that basically would have maybe swung the game, would you have thought the Lions would have won?
No.
You have to take advantage of all of your red zone opportunities, or so we think, but the Lions overcame. How about the Lions only scored 14 offensive points last night against a defensive line that we all thought that the Lions could just like abuse? Would you thought they would have won if the Lions only scored 14 offensive points?
All right, thanks, man.
No.
I don't think so, but they overcame and they found a way. How about this? I know Aiden Hutchinson got consistent pressure on Patrick Mahomes, but the Detroit Lions did not sack Patrick Mahomes one time.
That's what, if you would have told me that, I'd be like, nope, they lost the game.
But they didn't lose. They overcame and they found a way. How about this? And this is something where I want to speak to David Montgomery a little bit. And this isn't denigrating him because it's not just him. The Lions as a team averaged 3.5 yards per carry. I think we all thought it would be at least 4. If you were told that the Lions would average 3.5 yards per carry, would you thought they would have won that game?
Not a chance. That's the key to stopping Mahomes. You keep him off the field, and if you can't run the ball, you can't keep him off the field.
Right. Absolutely. But they overcame and they found a way. How about this? And I kind of alluded to it earlier. On 4th and 2 from the Chiefs' 45 with 2:33 left, the Lions went for it on 4th down and missed. And you give Patrick Mahomes a short field with 2:33 left, all timeouts, with a chance to go down and win the game. If you were told that the Lions did that, would you think they would have won?
Nope.
You would have thought Patrick Mahomes would go down,
That's
run
what
all
I'm
the
saying,
clock out.
man.
Yes, that's what I'm
There's
saying.
so many things
Yes.
that just changed. So many. Like the fact that the Chiefs, at the end of the game, on 4th and 20, they got a flag, they got a false start to move it
You're
back.
like, what?
Not the Lions. After Jawan Taylor was moving the whole damn game.
He was
and they just
cheating out
weren't
there.
calling it. They weren't calling it. The Chiefs had one penalty going into their final drive, and you're like, all right, here it comes. But no, they go from 4th and 10 to 1st and 10 to 4th and 20, then to 4th and 25. And what do the Lions always somehow figure out a way? On those 4th and longs, remember Lamar Jackson?
Yeah.
Remember Zach Wilson? They always find a way to keep the team in the game. Not today, baby. Those safeties, Patrick aired it out. Who'd you see there? CJ Gardner-Johnson.
And it helps. You only need to rush like 4 dudes, and you're getting pressure. Like everybody's back there just chilling.
Did you guys
They're
see,
getting pressure.
Did you guys see when Aaron Glenn had Aiden Hutchinson on the inside and James Houston on the outside?
Yeah.
That's going to be
Nasty.
a problem. He's going to.
Nasty.
That's
It's a
going to be
beautiful
such a
break there.
nasty
Beautiful.
stunt.